Jazz, America's true and only original art form. Without it, our world would be vastly different. Jazz has impacted the US from its birth and molded us into what we are today. Unfortunately, not a lot of people know this and are unfamiliar with the importance of jazz. It's seen as unpopular and boring, so not a lot of people pay attention to it. So hopefully I can change that and show you the important influences that jazz has had on the US. In the late 19th century, the southern US was a melting pot of cultures. The major ports and cities like New Orleans allowed for the collaboration of many different kinds of people. According to the Australian jazz station 5MBS, different European countries such as Spain, Germany, and France brought their culture and instruments into the melting pot of Louisiana. The unique rhythms and styles of Africa were brought as well, making the mashing of cultures into what we know as jazz. At around the same time, a similar kind of music was born. It was known as blues. One thing that was special with the blues was that it involved a lot of singing. We know of the railroad songs that railroad workers of the 1800s would sing during their hardships working on the railroad. Well, blues singing was sung for the same reasons, to express pain and suffering and to look for hope. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once spoke on this topic. The blues tell the story of life's difficulties, and if you think for a moment, you will realize that they take the hardest realities of life and put them into music, only to come out with some new hope or sense of triumph. This is a major reason why jazz was so influential during the early 20th century. Blacks, along with jazz, cultivated in the northern cities. The blacks felt that jazz was their own kind of music, and they were proud of it. Since they were able to express themselves through the music, and truly be what they were, they felt more proud to be black than they ever had before. Jazz and the blues also gave whites and blacks something to come together on, and that was their musical interest. Both whites and blacks enjoyed jazz, so they had something that they could share together and grow closer on. The reason that they were able to easily relate to this music was because it was so easy to understand. Through the playing of a musician, anyone can feel what he or she is trying to express. Jazz is a universal language that anyone can speak. This universalism allowed for the expression of many different kinds of people through this music. The spreading of jazz and the blues and followers of it led to the creation of all modern music that we know today. The music created during the rock and roll boom of the 50s has the same chord progressions as the blues. Also, they have the same rhythmic approach, accenting the beats 2 and 4. This led to the creation of the many different genres of rock that are heard today. It's in my best interest that this little dive into the world of jazz has showed you how it's had such an incredible influence in the US. Without it, our world would be drastically different. Until next time. Oh wait, APUSH is over. Never mind. Goodbye.